the smoke-filled clouds of the 303, all the way down to the 505. This is the Dro Bro Show with Primo Bitch, Grimx, and Soul Doja. Yeah, the Dro Bro Show.
What's up, everybody? We are back with episode 13 of the Dro Bro Show. Lucky number 13. I'm excited for this week because not only do we have our normal Joe Bros, Soul Doja and Grimx. Say what's up, fellas?
What up, everyone?
Hey guys, after a while.
Grim says hi too. But we have a very special guest today. And not only is he a fellow Dro aficionado himself, but he is the OG producer, artist, creative genius, my mentor and owner of BOC Productions. Is that even your name anymore? I don't even know. But
BOC's for life, but yeah.
BOC for life. This is my mentor, my close dear friend, Relate One or Rela Teone. What is it? What are you officially calling it now?
Man, it's both. It just depends on when you knew me from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. Well, I know him as Relate One. He's coming out with banger after banger for decades. This is Rela Teone. Say what's up, everybody. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? To all y'all out there, especially the women.
Welcome to the show, my brother. I'm so grateful to have you on. I'm sorry it was all last minute, and I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties, but fuck, we got you, and thank God.
Yeah. So what's good, boys? It's been a while since I've seen y'all. I'm just meeting my man down here on the left, but I know you two very well.
You actually have met Delane before. You met him back in the days. Yeah, back in the days. He might have had longer hair back then. When was it, Grim?
Shit, probably 20, almost 15, 17 years ago.
Yeah. We go back that far?
Back when I didn't have all the tats.
And he had long hair.
That was before he went to prison.
Yeah. You had to get it cut off in prison so they don't mistake you as a woman.
You know, you gotta get all your tattoos in prison so you're tough and Bubba don't try to make you drop the soap.
They might anyways, bro. We're in a day and age where people don't care.
So let me get right on into it, my brother, because I've been wanting to interview you for a long fucking time. And
let's see what kind of questions you got.
Well, let me just honestly, more than anything, I just want to get the story, bro. So, like, tell me, like, when did you fall in love with hip hop? When did you start rapping? When did BOC start? Give me all that. Give me all that background,
bro.
Hey, we got 21 questions, like 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm down to answer them all. He just gave me this open-ended question that's like he wants my life story. What you talking about?
I want give me the creation of BOC. Give me that whole build up till when BOC started.
Wait.
See, yeah, go ahead. So
we watch your life story, but sum it up to 1 minute.
Hey man, homies got really high, decided to be rappers, made music.
Us too.
Yeah, dude, that's usually how it goes, bro. Like-minded people do like-minded things, but no, BOC, like, that started with graffiti. You know what I mean? My homie Far from LA, he's the one who brought BOC over here to Denver. He was down there doing his graffiti shit. I ended up, befriending him at North when I was going to high school. And I used to see him writing that shit on the tablets all the time. BOC, Blunted Ones crew, based on crime, beating on cops. Like, he had all these different like names that he would fucking say, you know what I mean? And
different actors.
Dope. And he didn't rep it like his main crew. We were both part of another crew, NSK, as well. And that was kind of like our main thing, but I really liked BOC. And so I asked him if I could run with the crew. it's kind of, just, it was like his side thing, so to speak. And
Yeah.
he was like, yep, good, bro. And I was like, this is bigger than graffiti. To me, this is more of an identity of me and the crew. And so I took Blunted One's crew and just started doing my thing, bro. Like it was me and my cousin at first. I don't even think you met my cousin Roman. Called him
Yeah, I know.
Ans, but
Yeah, I
do you
know,
know
Roman.
Roman? Oh,
My son
okay,
know
okay.
Roman.
Yeah, you okay? Back, I did bring him around the lab a couple times.
Yeah, he was around the lab a lot. He was always dressed real sharp. Didn't he do like some
Boy, Roman.
didn't he do some kind of photography or something?
Yeah, he was part of our little photography crew. We,
Yeah,
we got into all that cool shit, dog. Like anything that we needed to do for music, we decided we're gonna try to do it ourselves. Take
yeah.
pictures, videos, utilize the skills that everybody around us had. Because when you ain't got the funds, you got to utilize the skills. You know what I mean? And so,
That's how we all kind of learned out of necessity, you know?
yeah, and
Hey,
that's why I love the
oh,
black market, bro, because I was able to get some of my tools for cheap back in the day.
Yeah.
and for those of you who don't know, that picture behind Remo right there is the circle, and he did that shit
Oh shit, a long time ago when I was first painting some things.
when
I didn't.
he was in his Picasso era.
That was the blue era.
Yeah. Hey, I
Nah,
still got two of my circle hats too, bro, that you drew on. Actually, I'll go grab them here in a minute.
yeah, no, it's cool, man, because like I look at that stuff as it's just every day for me, bro. But like some of my people hold on to things like that, and it's true to their heart, and I think that's dope, man. I really
It's
appreciate that 100%.
it's like
Sometimes,
it's like how you say it, memorabilia.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
memorabilia. One of these days, bro, I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna do something big, and we're all gonna eat off of it. I'm telling you, because that's kind of how I was raised. You know what I mean? Like if
Yep.
if I'm gonna have some kind of success, I'm gonna share it with my people. If you don't want to
Right.
share it, be cool, whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna invite everybody when I make it. You know what I mean? I gotta make it before I could even do any of that shit. So it's a mission, boys. You know that.
Yeah.
Yep. I
That
feel that. It's a process.
when when
Go ahead, Dose.
when I got those hats, speaking of like including everybody, that was when you did that. I think it was Just Because show where you shot. We did it at a warehouse.
Oh yeah, that was
Dude, that
actually oh, that's
dude,
where I met.
that was fun, man. That was probably one of the coolest shows I've been into, and I had a blast that night. I got tore up.
I'm sorry if there anything's a sour note, but is that where you met your baby's mama, or did you know her before that?
I met her there. That was the
Yeah.
night that sparked the true love.
Oh, so it's crazy because like the homie G, the messenger, he met his wife at one of our Canaween shows.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
it's funny how like the butterfly effect happens through some of these little things that changes somebody's total life.
Yep. Well, I
You know,
mean, at that same Just Because show, we also have some other dear family friends. My son's godmother and her husband, one of our close friends, Ray.
Oh yeah.
They also met that night too, and they've had a long, long, long relationship and family since.
is it
Um,
Ray and Stephanie
yeah,
Yeah.
Steph and Ray, they're still together.
Villaponda I don't know how to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Villapondo.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they've always been cool and kind of followed me on Facebook to show support and shit like that
Yep,
over the years. I didn't put the connection together until now. So
yep,
that,
Yeah.
you know what I
yep.
mean?
Shout out, Steph and Ray. We love you guys. Thank you for listening, because I know they're fans of the show. Appreciate you guys. Um,
You know who we got to shout out
Out,
to, man. Yeah, go ahead.
shout out Jeremiah. We were just talking about him before the show.
yep. Shout out
I know
Ashes, our homeboy that
you.
brought us all together.
You know, a big part of all of that and us knowing each other too is Skrill, man. We got to
Yeah.
give him props for doing what he's done for not only us, but the kind of the hip hop community, how he's always tried to support through everything that he's
Oh,
done. You
that's
know,
what
it's kind of dope.
I was gonna say. Skrill was tight. He didn't rap or nothing, but he organized it, and
He rapped.
So, if he could
Oh
rap,
yeah.
good.
I,
You know what I mean?
I have the tracks. I still got.
Oh, well, I've never seen it before, so
Yeah.
but
Nah,
but
So for those that don't know, we did reference Skrill on one of our first episodes, but Skrill is my cousin. And as all of you guys know, we've had a tumultuous relationship, but I've always loved my cousin, and I'll always give him the props for putting me on game and putting me in all these circles. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? He put me in all the studios I was in the very beginning and all that stuff. You know, so I appreciate Skrilla for all of those things. And like you said, he has put on a lot of people as far as like helping him out with some of his business ventures and stuff. So props to Skrilla.
A lot of the people that have got T-shirts over the years got some shit from Skrill. You know what I mean?
I,
So,
Yeah,
I
well,
was literally gonna say that because he used to crack me up. He'd be like, "I don't wear any shirt that I've worn." He's like, "I don't wear them twice," and I go, "What?" He's like, "Bro, I make shirts, so I make me a fresh new shirt every day." And I
yeah,
thought he was full. And I thought he
that
was full of shit, but I'd see him make him a fresh shirt every day.
it's cool until you have freaking 6 piles of shirts sitting in your room ready to do laundry. You know what I mean? Like it's all fun and games till you got to go to the laundry.
Oh
uh,
fuck.
to get to get back to the story though, I wanted to know when you said in the beginning it was just Roman that was the first part of the Blended Ones crew. So
Yeah.
when did Insaniac come into the group?
So me and Insaniac linked up like pretty shortly after I was making music with Roman because I kind of always wanted to make music with somebody else. You know what I mean? It takes a little pressure off of me, to be honest.
Did
But
Roman not make any music? Did he not really rap or anything?
no, Roman rapped, but he just, I think the music that I was making or that I wanted to make was kind of hood music, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I just felt that Roman was close to his dad, and his dad's a pastor. He
Yeah,
wanted to make dad proud and do the right things. Roman and Gabe, they had their own, things that they were going through as far as life and the challenges of life or whatever too, right? So
yeah,
they were out there partying and doing some things, but ultimately I think that Roman just kind of wanted to fall back and just do his own thing that was outside of rap, and it doesn't have that like negative feeling to it, I guess, because dude, when you think of rappers, bro, you think of like right away people think of like gangster rap
mm.
because that's what a lot of it has been. But I mean,
You don't really think of conscious rap as like the first thing,
nah,
Or like
you ain't thinking of like Q-Tip and the
and
boys
like
out.
comics and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah,
or like comical rap, you know? Like I love doing funny music, and people were like, why you do that? I was
Oh,
thinking of that. I can't think of that one song, but you made up that character.
Well,
I think,
Uncle Joe,
huh?
smoking Uncle Joe.
Yeah, yeah. That's
yeah,
that song's a classic, and that shit's hilarious.
Which
yes.
reminds me, I need to tell you what's up for my kids, Relate, because they're big fans, as you know. But that song, "Smoking Uncle Joe," gets requested quite often in the family wagon there. You know what I'm saying? So
Because
just
they feel
just so
like
you
the
know, I told them I'd shout you, let them know that they said hi.
word. What's up, homies? Thanks for the support all these years since you were little babies.
Yep. So Insaniac, was he? Did like y'all just hit it off right from the get and just like start making crazy shit? Because you guys have this kind of flavor that like completely different. Like y'all have totally different rap styles and cadences and stuff like that. You're more of a chameleon. Insania kind of has his own zone, and he kind of knocks that shit out like that. You know what I'm saying? But like right off the get, y'all had this chemistry. Was it like that, or was it
Yeah.
something that y'all had to?
I mean, bro, like we. So I forgot who it was, but they told me they was like, because back in the day we called him Foz. It was like Foz could rap, bro. That dude's tight. And I was like, I'll check it out because I've always been. I mean, you know how I am, bro. I'm always like trying to look for some talent.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an A&R for a record label that's never fucking done anything. You know what I
So
mean?
you've always been like that.
Yeah. So they said and he could rap, and I started linking up with him, and I'm like, yeah, this dude could bust. I was like,
Yeah.
we should make some music. I got these beats that I've been making. Started showing him because I was my producer. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have Matematico at that point, so I had to produce my own shit. But we started vibing, bro, and we smoke weed. Blunted One's crew is perfect. it was kind of that time in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Everybody's kind of into weed, and Cypress Hill was fucking popular, and there's a bunch of shit that just was like, Blunt and One's crew could kind of fit in this realm. 420 rallies that we got to go to,
I can
performing
see
on
Cypress
stage.
Hill influence.
Bro, yeah. So like me and him and weed is kind of what brought it all together.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't smoke, it probably wouldn't have been what it is. But he smoked just like I did. Neither of us were really like drinkers, you know what I mean? We drink once in a while, but wasn't
Yeah.
that was back burner compared to weed. So that kind of really put the icing on the cake, I guess you would say. And we were just like, let's do this, bro. And started
Yep.
creating some music, man.
So
Hey,
you go ahead, Doge.
isn't it funny how like I've been saying this for years, but your best friendships are always started with like a joint. You know what I mean? You share a joint with, that's how we're all connected right here, right now.
Uh, you know,
And
there's
with that,
people
I
who
think
don't
that
smoke.
takes us. I was just gonna say, and with that, I think that takes us to our drumming of the week. So, everybody, shall we let Relay go ahead and start us off and let us know what you puffing on right there, my brother? What strain you got?
Oh, this here,
Yes, sir. That right there.
Mandarin cookies R2. So I could get down to the specifics because I bought the seed from a local seed bank, Ethos Genetics. I grew it and now I'm smoking it. You know what I mean? So it's a hybrid strain, I believe. It's some good shit.
Wonderful. Sounds great. Go ahead, Doge.
I was still smoking on that Uncle Ricky's Taniki with some. I infused my joint with a shitload of hash. So we should see what happens in this next 20 minutes.
Right? You
Uh,
might need a lot of water.
that's the Nicky's gonna get him. I know it. Grim, what you got, my brother?
I got some papaya dream, but I wanted to mention that the way that I met you first is you were our plug back in the day when Remo and Joe and Soul and Maya were doing music with you.
I was the plug.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember
Yeah,
getting my QPs too.
that was somebody else. What you guys saw?
Hey, there was this shit used to grow DJ Shortstop or something like that. That shit was
Short,
fire.
some DJ Short Blueberry, probably you're talking about.
Yeah, that shit tasted so bomb. Fuck.
Bro, I wish I would have got into the dispensary world like in the beginning when I had an opportunity instead of being so pig-headed and saying I don't want to be on that legal shit. I'd have been a millionaire, but no.
Well,
Hey,
I'm,
but
I'm sorry, but it all happened the way it was supposed to happen. And by the way, I got some straw guava from our people over at Skunked. By the way, go and check out my homies over there, and they'll hook you up. And everybody, y'all ready to take our communal hit together real quick?
Oh man, I just put my shit down. Yeah, I guess so.
Get your shit back.
Is that how we do? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Just like that. That
You
is
know what?
it.
You know what it means when people blow smoke in your face, bro?
It's
You ever
very
heard that?
disrespectful. But on the Dro Bro Show, we call that our Dromint of the Week.
hey, back to what you're saying, relate about growing and shit. I remember when I first, before it was legalized, like, I would go to people's houses and I'd seen so many basement setups and shit. And you were at this one house and you couldn't even tell. And you're like, check it out, there's a hidden room right here. And I was like, what the fuck? And we went and you had like about 18 of them fuckers, and I'm like, it was dope setup. But I was like, that shit was dope though back in the day, because when I first moved to Colorado, that's what everybody was growing their own shit before it was legalized, and then now legalized, everybody in the U.S. started moving there, and it's like, nah, man, everybody was growing way before that shit was legalized. To me, that was like a part of the Denver culture. It was like, hey, everybody had tight setups. Like,
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you knew somebody who was willing to teach you, because it was kind of like I learned from some white dudes that live in Evergreen, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
anything I ever did was on a small scale compared to what these dudes are doing. And it's cool because they shared their knowledge to be able to allow me to grow my own herb to smoke for myself or whatever too,
Dude.
right? Like that's where you're always gonna get the best shit when somebody loves the plant, takes care of it, and they're not just pushing it to the shelf. Dispensaries push it to the shelf. So I mean there's always something better to smoke, man. And I encourage everybody in the legal state to grow your own.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for your insights on that, and I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah.
The
To
best,
get back to your, go ahead, Grim.
the best is with love is just sketchy now with all the fentanyl.
Shit, man. You just I guess you just have to know and trust the people that you deal with, right? Like I don't think that somebody that really cares for you and loves you is just gonna put some fentanyl in your shit without saying anything. If
Yeah,
Isn't
you're
that? Hey, that shit's crazy, huh? People be doing that. Like, damn.
It's
You guys are
foolish.
poisoning our weed now. What the hell?
There's a lot of different drugs that are out there that people fuck with that's no good for you, bro. And that
yeah,
one it's kind of in the spotlight, and I've known some people that have been directly affected by it, and it sucks. Fucking sucks. But and
exactly. And
what
anybody, any of our audience that is going through something or knows somebody that's going through something, I pray for all of y'all, and I hope y'all do get some help because I know how it is destroying people and destroying lives. And we definitely need to help each other overcome that shit because every generation it seems like we have our own little epidemic with drugs, and that's kind of what's happening right now recently. So hopefully we could get through this and have that be a thing of the past too eventually.
Hey,
you know,
what?
let's just be honest, man. Like it'll never be a thing of the past. It's just we have to educate better. We have
Yeah,
to teach our kids better to stay away from that shit and to avoid certain stereotypical people that's going to get them in those situations, right? Like I
yeah,
think that's more important than anything because sometimes and you might have a great parent and that kid just kind of rebels and does their own thing and falls into the hands of people that just don't care for them, just want to party with them.
yeah,
The kid doesn't see that difference, right? They're just like, they want to party with me, we're cool. That's
yeah,
not necessarily anything, man. And so
yeah. Good
educating
time to be
our
bad.
youth, yeah. I mean, just like that song that I shared with you not long ago, where it's really talking about the choices that we make in life and the responsibilities that we have. Like what path are we gonna go? Are we gonna teach the youth good, or are we just gonna turn our back and just let them fucking be bad? You know what I mean? At a
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
point, the government is almost making us turn our back because they're saying you can't discipline your children with any kind of physical discipline, no matter if it's just a simple spanking on the ass. I can understand you don't want somebody punching their kids around, but for generations, people have been put in check by a belt on the ass. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like you can't do that anymore. So it's a different world that we're living in when we're talking about politics and raising our kids and marijuana and law.
Honestly, I mean, we're all living in like a world where we're constantly trying to find our footing. Constantly trying to see what the next move's going to be for ourselves and for us as a people. So it's crazy times. It's crazy times.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
Hey, do you still have all your stuff up on YouTube? Relate?
like what? Like
Like
all my stuff.
like the old classics, like there was that one you guys did about the end of the world song. I can't
Yeah,
think of it.
end times.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
dude, that was like one of my favorite songs you guys did. I love that song.
It's a pretty powerful song, man. That thing is dope, and especially when you can listen to it loud and just feel that bass and kind of really hear them lyrics fucking.
Hey, I always try to tell people, but I can never find the video to explain it to them. The man pond video.
For that one, you have to search "man pond mud butt beware," bro. Horrible time in my life. Okay, we don't like talking about that video. People people
Dude,
troll.
that shit was funny as fuck,
that was
man.
classic. And it
You
is
got
out there. I've seen it. I've seen it recently. I've showed it to
you
people. So
you got to
it exists.
embrace the comedian side.
Nah, No, I think it's funny, bro. I'm just fucking around, but I think that we could have done a better job. And let's just say we kept filming at that point, and we were just filming and making content before content creators were a thing.
Exactly.
Just imagine how big we would have been now off of that shit alone. We always
Bro,
had shit going on at the lab.
there's so many shoulda, coulda, woulda stories that we have collectively that
That
it's kind of
hey,
ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous to know that none of them were actually capitalized on to the
uh,
magnitude that we all know could have happened. You know?
hey. Speaking of that, one thing that always kicks me in the fucking dick about that is podcasting. Right? I
Yeah.
was recording 8, 9 hours a night on a radio station equipment in my homeboy's garage, doing interviews, freestyling, all that shit before podcasting was even a thing, and we didn't even know what the fuck we were doing. We were just having fun.
It's kind of pioneering without taking it to the next level, bro. And that's been my downfall with music. Like I always tell you, Remo, like we did some dope shit, but I didn't take it to the next level to where business, if I had a great business mind and I could have said, okay, this is exactly what we need to do to succeed, to make this song that we just made a hit, at least in Denver, and then we can move beyond that. But it's difficult, man, because I'm a creative and I want to just create. Go doing the business part of it, like creating marketing materials and then going out there and actually passing out marketing materials, because that's what it was back then, is guerrilla, just going out and passing flyers and trying to get your name out there. It
Yeah.
wasn't like it is right now. It's a little bit easier now, but ease comes with money. You know what I mean? Convenience, it's pay to play right now.
Yeah.
You have to be able to invest into yourself, put money into yourself, and make some kind of wave. But before, I didn't have any of that knowledge of how to do it, and I was kind of just hoping that maybe somebody would come into our circle of fucking talent and be able to manage the shit that we had going on. But
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is what it is, man. I still
It
got.
was kind of hard. It's kind of hard to manage all those pieces. You know what I mean? And for you to be like kind of at the head of the table there and being like the coach, for lack of a better term, of the team, it's kind of difficult. You know what I mean? Especially when you're dealing with different personalities and different time frames of their life and just all kinds of different variables. You know what I mean? So we had lightning in a bottle, but that doesn't mean that lightning is actually, the flash has gone away, because
Ah,
it's left a lot of lasting ripples. And to circle back to you learning how to do everything and how to do it yourself. Did you learn how to make beats before you were interested in being the rapper, or were you rapping first? Because the way
no,
you said it earlier kind of made it sound like you were making the beats first.
no, I was rapping first, bro. I would get like tapes. So the single cassette tapes back in the day, on the opposite side of the single, you would have the instrumental. So
Yeah,
I would get these little cassette tapes. It was a lot of East Coast hip hop that I would write to and rap to. Nas was probably one of the first rappers that really inspired me to do some shit. I
yeah,
would sit back and listen to Illmatic on my headphones, bro, just blasting, just taking in every word, every bar and the beat in the background. And I thought that was so dope, the way that he came across and kind of expressed where he was from in this artistic way. And I was like, that kind of drew a passion in me, because I didn't really, at that point, I didn't have too much direction of what I wanted to do. I was into graffiti and into kind of that lifestyle, but music was always something that I would love to wake up on Saturday morning, bro, and bump Stevie Wonder or something and listen to Two Live Crew blasting, whatever it was. Music always kind of inspired me to feel good, and to make it was kind of the next step. Like being a fan of music and then being an actual artist, it was a big step for me to take. But those singles made me want the beats. And then after a while, I said, I need to make my own beats, because I can't make an original song to this shit. So I would listen to Dr. Dre's, all of his like formatting, the way that he would bring in his beat, how he would drop a hook or drop a verse right away. So it was like the 16 bars, 8-bar hook, 16 bars, 8-bar, kind of getting the format of how the beats were made. Same with like RZA and these fools. They all were doing like 16-4 or 16-8. And so I started just studying their patterns, and I said, I'm gonna do it myself. Put a fucking drum machine on layaway, paid it off over like a half year, went and picked that shit up, started making beats, bro.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I remember too. You taught me how to. You can like in the Reason program when you were like, bro, why don't you just save your drum kits and shit, and it's already automatically stocked in there for when you make the beat and stuff. And I was like, what? So and then he gave me a gang of refills on my Reason too. I had like so many sounds. But yeah, that was always dope, dude. He always used to hook me up.
Yeah, bro, that was that was the changeover after working with hardware, because I was working on Roland drum machines when I first started making music. So like physical drum machines that we'd have a sequencer in there. But then moving over to computers and having Reason was kind of like the next logical step for me, because not having a big space to build a studio to host a bunch of hardware, I had to kind of just go to the computer and start making beats there. But yeah, Reason, I still use Reason today. I got a subscription to that. It's dope. Any music stuff, if you want to get subscriptions, wait till Black Friday, bro. You get everything like half off.
Well, thank you for that.
that
I remember
hey,
getting
that's
beats
when I
no time.
that's
But I wanted to ask you, like, were you the one who did the Mr. Vicious beat?
Was I? Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought,
come on, bud. Damn. This
I
hold on.
thought
Oh,
so.
wait a minute, wait a minute.
I smoke a lot of weed, man. And if you
I know,
ask me about some of my own music, I'm
I
gonna
know,
question.
I know, but I gotta tell this story because this is very near and dear to my heart and to my story, to my growth as an artist myself. Because I always felt like the guinea pig, right? Skrilla would always kind of like we would get hooked up with different studios, and I was always the one that would like kind of be the tester, you know, to go and like lay something down and see how it went down or whatever, right? So when I met you, Mr. RZA genius himself, fucking you had your cocky way about you, and you asked me what kind of beat I wanted. So I said I wanted something mean, and you said mean. Okay, I guess we can make mean. And 15 minutes later, you made me the Mr. Vicious beat. And like you started off right away, it was na 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 na. And I said, oh shit. It was on, bro. So you made the beat in 15 minutes and you fucking handed me the shit. You know, you burned it on a disc, whatever, handed me the shit and you said, "Can you match that?" And I was like, "Oh shit, bro!" Like
yeah.
the fucking pressure was on. You know what I'm saying? So I went to fucking Doja's house. We left your spot. You know, me and Skrill. And after I left with Skrill, I went with these fools and I went to his crib. I showed everybody the beat. Everybody was digging it. Sat down, wrote the fucking track all right there, then and there, and I was ready to go the next fucking day. Cause that was the challenge you gave me. You said, come back tomorrow and record it. I said, all right. So I was ready to go. But I can't remember, man, if it was some Skrilla shit or what happened. You know how that kind of shit goes. So I wasn't able to go back the next day. But I
You
was ready
probably
for it.
you probably came in and you was acting all cocky yourself, and that's why I was like, all right, watch. He was
Yeah.
probably like, I'm the greatest rapper alive. And
Ah,
that's like,
you
That
know,
sounds about right.
yeah,
That
that sounds right. That sounds
yeah,
right.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I believe that
Yeah.
story.
Oh no,
See,
no,
see,
y'all got it all fucked up. You know what actually happened? It's because I'm Skrilla's cousin. That's what it was. Like Skrilla was probably saying some shit, hyping me up, whatever.
yeah,
So you already had your mind made up. You're like, this fucking guy. You know what I mean?
yeah, probably, most
You have
likely, yeah.
no expectations.
But we
It is.
have to, bro. You know what I mean? Like at that point, I was working with a good amount of people. Like
Yeah.
we had G and Mo and Styles and them boys that would always come around. And me and Insaniac were doing our thing deep. Yellow, Dre Lane, like Freddie K. Fucking, we had a lot of people over there making
Bro,
music, and
I
then
was
we also
cracking,
had
bro.
Yeah, and then we also had a lot of people that came in, you know, like once or twice versus like those people that I just named was constantly there.
Yeah, those
And
remain things at the lab for sure.
yeah, and that's like man, it was some good times over there at 420 South Mead, bro. You couldn't
Yep.
have a better block, you know what I mean? 420 South. Like, all
It
right.
get better than that.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
whatever.
every block
I
is
wanted
usually
to,
100 blocks.
I'm sorry, my fault. I wanted to ask you, whatever happened to those pictures that we took on top of it? You remember that?
Oh, that when you guys were like everybody was standing there, huh?
Yeah, we were on top of the lab on the building.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to him.
We,
Bro,
we,
I
we
lost
made
a lot of
we had
media.
a whole ass photo shoot. That shit was tight.
Yeah, no, it was dope. I remember we made some kind of like edits or something in the beginning, but I don't know what happened. We did a lot of shit right, but then pushing it out was another thing, right? You know what I mean? Like we set up this photo shoot with lights and everything, but then what happened to it after that? Perfect example of what the fuck were you guys doing
Yeah.
with the position you were in. We had a great position, but we kind of fumbled the ball. But there's always time, man.
Yep. Go ahead, Grim. Did you have something else you wanted to ask my brother?
No, but I do remember a lot of the rappers you mentioned. Like Remo was saying, is that we met a long time ago. I probably did look a lot different, but you look about the same as I remember.
Long hair, glasses, and a hat.
Yeah,
Back in
A
the
little
day,
bit more white hairs now.
yeah, it used to be like this all the time, though, dog. Hat
yeah.
back.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to tell.
Go ahead, Doge.
I wanted to tell everybody too, because you were talking about the beats and shit. You were the only, still to this day, producer I ever seen do this. But you were being a smartass, but it fucking came out dope as shit. But you were making a beat, and you're like, watch, check this shit out. We'll do a little intro. All right, right here is you rapping, and you're playing the whole time. All right. Oh, look, right here's where. Oh, wait, here's where you need a chorus. Watch this. I'm gonna put the chorus in, and then you play a different note, for the chorus. Then you go, oh, okay, all right. Here comes another 16. Anyways, you played it out just like fucking free, like like a freestyle, freehand. And then you're like, all right, there's that sound. Okay, let's put the drums in here. And you're just fucking, oh, okay, right here's where the chorus goes. Here, we'll switch the drum up right here like this. And we're all high, and I'm just watching you fucking play away. And then you're like, all right, there's the beat. And it was like dope as fuck. I probably got it somewhere on a hard drive somewhere, but that was one of my fun. That shit is dope, bro.
It's funny, bro. Like some of that is because I was being lazy to sequence fucking sounds. So instead of making these 4-bar sequences and having these buildups, I'm like, fuck it. If I just play it a couple times, I'll figure out how it's gonna go. And I kind of like the natural sound where sometimes maybe it's not exactly the same or it's a little bit off, right? So playing it kind of through a 16 bar section, or even like you said, through an intro, having a thicker part for the chorus, and then running through the verse. That was just me being lazy, bro.
Hey, that shit was tight because we have another homie, Anton, and he's like that too. He would never like to make it so like. But I mean, yours was formatted on point, like you had to. But also too, I'll never forget something you told me in the beginning when I started making beats, and you said the most important thing is to learn how to count the bars and to listen. And I'm like, fuck's he talking about? Listen. You're like, you got to have an ear for it. I'm like, all right, okay, bro. But now
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah. To really feel those buildups and shit, and have the energy the way that you want it, you got to have that ear, bro. We could all make a 4-bar loop and loop it, and we can make a decent beat. But if you want something that because I like music that the energy builds. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it'll start maybe a little bit more subtle, but then it'll get a little bit more intense towards the hook or the chorus, whatever. But I like some of that buildup, and so that's why I made beats the way that I did, is because I always kind of did that even in my rhymes, where I start off a little bit softer than I end off. But yeah, man, I love those times, bro, and I'm glad that I was able to influence you dudes to remember some of these stories because my ass, I was fucked up.
Motherfucker. Oh, anyways, to get back to your story here, when you first started like making shit and start making shit happen, what did the scene look like here in Denver? Because you're OG Denver fucking rapper. What did it look like back then? Who do you remember? There were some mainstays that are still around.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you here, and you might not like the answer. I wasn't really a fan of much Denver rap, so I can't really say who was popping because I didn't listen to the shit, bro, because none of it really impressed me. There was a couple people that were out there that were kind of making moves that I wanted to kind of see what I could do with them,
Yeah,
but it wasn't because I really liked their music. You know what I mean? We did shows with a lot of the people that everybody might call OGs or look at in a certain way out here in Denver in rap history. We did a lot of shows with those people, but there wasn't anybody that I could say that I really remember. I mean, I remember some names like Arapaho Trues, Cut and Crew, Pure Devotion was like I think like a little knockoff of Cut and Crew or like a little branch off of them or something. Those were like the only people that you would really hear doing things. Like you would hear some things with like what the boys in the East Side, but it was kind of where you lived is where you kind of heard a little bit of that local music. But I'm just being honest, bro. It just wasn't real impressive.
that's why I'm asking because you're a little like a generation before me. So when I came in, things were a little bit different. I mean, it was still the same, but it was a little bit different too because it was a little bit more saturated by that point. There was a lot more people doing things. You know what I'm saying? So it was to hear about other names was a little bit more widespread by that point. You know what I mean? Because me, like I come from a generation where I was looking up to all y'all motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So I know Pure Devotion. We used to bump that shit. Joe's got a lot of that shit now still. Like a lot of these,
Roll, fad, roll.
you
Hey,
know.
do you have any of your stuff up on like the iTunes and up there and shit?
Yeah, you gotta search Rela Teone. Don't go search and relate one. You're not gonna find it. Rela Teone.
Wow, that's I
Releon.
don't even know how to spell that shit.
Man,
Well, it'll be in our title and description and everything like that. So everybody else could see it. And speaking of which, you brought up your hat earlier. I want to give a quick little look at your hat. You're kind of like Prince now. Like this is your logo, right?
yeah, this is an easy identifiable icon for my music.
Hell yeah, I like it. It looks cool. About ready to take
Hey, are
flight.
you still
It,
you
it
still
works.
graphic designing pretty good and everything?
Yeah, bro, I'm a pretty badass designer if you ask me. I utilize a new tool as of recently over the past year. I've integrated AI into my life, which makes making some really dope shit a lot more achievable. I still do my own things with Photoshop and Illustrator or whatever I have to do to take the art and make it usable um, or applicable in any of these designs that I'm making for personal or use for a customer or client of mine. But yeah, dude, always
I'm
design.
gonna, I'm gonna have to hit you up, dude. I have a lot of things going. Need a lot of designs, bro.
Yeah,
And
I got
I need some crazy shit, that fucking alien raping motherfucking shit.
wow. That's I can help you with most of that.
What's that called?
Yeah,
So
Bigfoot. It,
We got
big.
me,
It,
me and him. We started a crazy, conspiracy type of podcast. The
Yeah.
first one we talked about the Bigfoot and the Sasquatch. Next one we're gonna talk about skinwalkers, but I want a scary ass logo. When people see it, they just kind of get horrified.
Then you got to do lot lizards.
yeah.
I,
But we really caught them in the wild this time. It'll be like how
uh,
hunters used to be.
Yeah.
yeah, I do got a new single called Cougar Hunter. It's kind of similar to Lot Lizards.
Cougar hunter.
Yeah,
Did you debut it already or what?
no, No, not yet. I want to do a video. I got a whole. It's gonna be a whole thing, you know, like mini movie and all that shit.
If somebody snatches up that domain, hit me up. I'll sell it back to you.
Hey, what the? Hey, remember when people would do that shit, like do that shit all the time, dude?
Oh, you gotta think like that sometimes. I was
That's
gonna,
why I already paid for the Dro Bro show. So when it goes big, you know, I got the name.
you gotta do that, man. Some people don't protect themselves.
Yeah.
There's this dude that was making some AI pictures, and he said he was gonna start a clothing line like grandma's clothing or something. And he kept putting it in there, and he was getting a bunch of hits. And like a predator, I went in there and I bought the fucking domain, and I was gonna sell it back to him.
Crazy guy.
Yeah. Hey, see, that's tight.
I didn't know him, so there wasn't that tied. Like I wouldn't take y'all shit, but that fucking man, yeah.
Hey, if you were to pay for it, I'd say that's an honor. He's a homie. He bought it. He thought, you know, I'd take it the wrong way. I'd say, oh, maybe he wanted to invest in it. You know, he thought it was a good idea.
Hey, I wasn't gonna try to make a ton off him. I was just gonna tell him like $300, nothing crazy. You know what I mean? I paid like $10 for it.
Hey, speaking of stuff, I still got a Denver Nugs shirt. Are you still making that stuff?
Choking.
Damn. Damn.
See, as soon as you bring that up, I start choking.
I know. Damn. Take a drink.
Fuck.
Because that one really makes me gasp, bro. Because I should have made a lot of money off of that shit too.
Yeah, you should have.
Now I haven't made any prints in a while, but I still rock my shit. I still have some shit. The screen printing lasted a long time, bro, compared to like some of the prints over the years.
Yeah, we
Those,
still got some.
yeah, they lasted.
Yeah, I don't know what he uses in that paint, man, but that shit fucking outlasts like I buy from professional companies and their shit fades fast and Skrilla shirts are still going like brand new in my closet.
You know, we used to scorch that ink so that it just burns into the shirt. You're never getting it out.
Yeah, bro, the fuck.
So, when did you have you always been like artistic as far as like painting and drawing and like designing kind of stuff goes? Because that's
Well,
like a whole different beast, bro. And you've been like I don't even know if it's a triple threat. Maybe it's a quadruple threat at this point or whatever. But you've kind of had like all of the tools, you know, to be a complete artist. So when did all that start?
shit, in elementary school, I used to always sketch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
Oh yeah,
that used to be like my
yeah,
Uh,
subject all the time. And I got pretty good at drawing them. I thought I was good, you know what I mean? But other kids at school kind of hated on them sometimes. I got kind of discouraged with that shit, bro. So I stopped making art for a long time until I got into high school. And that was one of the electives. So I was like, fuck it. I was into graffiti at that point too, mostly just tagging. But I was like, if I could learn how to, get some art theory behind what I do, then I could paint murals instead. It didn't happen.
yeah,
We won't worry about that. But it gave me a passion to create art a little bit more. Then I got into so my homie, I call him Aura, Nimbus Firecloud on Facebook, but he showed me how to use Illustrator because I wanted him to draw the first Life Is Ill, the Blunted Ones crew first album. I wanted him
yeah,
to draw the fucking artwork for it, but he didn't have the time at that time. He had family going on and shit, and he was in school doing his own thing. So he taught me the basics of using Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, and he said if I could learn how to use that, I could make pretty much anything. And sure enough, bro, got me a pirated version of it. Started learning it. Started making a lot of fucking artwork. Created our first album cover with it, but it was a horrible album cover looking back. But that was my first time using Adobe Illustrator, so it was, I guess, an accomplishment. But it was cheesy as fuck.
uh,
Is that the one that you guys had repressed and put the stickers and all that kind of stuff on and handed out? Because I have an autographed copy of that somewhere. If that's the same one.
I
That
got that CD too.
that one's one blunt at a time. That was a 420 album.
No, I think it was called Life Is Ill. I remember that.
It's
No,
like a white. It was like a white background.
nah, Life is Ill was it was a yellow CD. We got those
Yeah,
ones professionally pressed. So we didn't put stickers on those ones, but we got those ones professionally pressed through disc makers, I think.
I think it was pressed, but I think when you were handing it out, it was for promo stuff. Because it was to you. You know how you are. You were like, "Oh, this is old shit," and you were just trying to give it away. You didn't give a fuck about it.
Man, at a certain point, you just want your music to be heard.
That's why I did. Like I grabbed and snatched that shit. I was like, "Shit," because you had it autographed and shit. I'm like, "Shit, I'll take it."
Yeah, one day, Remo, one day.
One day, my brother. I need to find it now. Shit, I don't even know if I still got it, but I did.
Hey, I was gonna tell you. I've been a Ninja Turtle dude my whole life too. I think it was last weekend. I wore a Ninja Turtle shirt on the show and shit. Like, and I'm all. What do you think about that? It's the Last Roman with Raphael coming out. Have you seen that movie yet? The,
Uh-uh.
so it's like I
Yeah.
guess in the comic books they all die and he's like the last one avenging
Oh,
them or
Michael.
something.
Oh,
That's good.
Michael.
Nice. I like how that's starting out.
Good.
Tell me
Yeah,
about it, Tim.
Huh?
Tell me
Yeah.
about it.
Oh no, it's kind of like in the future, but then they break it down because then they leave it open at first. You don't know who it is because he wears all black, but he has all four of their weapons, and he's way beefier than they used to be, so you can't tell who he is. And then they start seeing the spirits, and once you start seeing the spirits, and find out it's Mikey, and then they start breaking down how each of the turtles die.
Damn, that sounds kind of fucking tight, bro. I've
it's
been a
supposed to
turtle my whole life too, so that's tight.
it's supposed to be like a rated R action movie and shit.
Oh, shit.
I'll send you a picture of the cover. It looks tight.
It's from the original artists and writers of the original Ninja Turtle comics.
Hell yeah, you're gonna have to send me that shit for sure. But so since we're on the subject, who was your turtle? Relate?
Which one smoked weed?
Ah, Master Splinter.
Yeah, that
I
he
dude.
think
was
they all did, bro.
he was called Master Spliffer.
He probably was smoking down there. That's why he
He's
got
like
banished down to the fucking
that's
sewer
what
because he was getting too stoned.
that's why he talked all slow. He's like, "Oh, all right, I teach you a lesson today." Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Fucking I don't know, yeah. I guess I guess I really didn't have like a favorite, bro. Like I know people had favorites. I was just like, man, they're just like a crew. They're like a fucking battle crew together.
All
Who's
right, all right. I'm from the generation where everybody had their guy, bro. You know what I mean? So I was the Mikey dude. I was all about Chucks. I got some Chucks behind me over there. I broke a pair of fucking Grimm's Chucks back in the day when I first learned how to Chuck. So you know
I
that's
got
been my
I,
shit.
I got some Chucks right here too in my fucking garage.
Are they ones that I gave you?
I don't know. Let me see.
what was what Donatello had like the staff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The stuff.
It's easiest for a poor kid to play that turtle because you could just get any stick and just start flipping it.
my favorite, Raphael.
Yeah,
See,
Oh,
mine was
yeah,
Raphael too.
I was gonna say Raph is usually the second place, and then you hear Leonardo. Nobody ever says Donatello.
dog, poor kids say Donatello. I'm telling you, you
He,
give that poor kid a broken fucking broomstick, and he's Donatello right there.
That's tight, bro. I love that. That's gonna be. We need to, Doja. When you make your little clips and shit, you need to get that little Ninja Turtle bit and put that part out there.
oh, all right. Hey, did you recognize these ones?
No, I don't think so.
Did you steal those from him?
No, those are dope though. I like them.
Yeah,
Did you guys see my latest video? I put some footage of me playing with the nunchucks and stuff.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Because I've been wanting to do that. That's dope.
It was dope.
Oh, I can do it. Don't worry, Remo, I got you.
How,
I'll find a doper one.
how are you? Are you rusty?
Fuck yeah, that shit hurts, dude. I already hit myself a few times.
See,
It hurt? Come on, bud.
I I don't do in between the legs right now. Let's just say that.
See, the trick with between the legs for me is you gotta get low. You know what I mean? You gotta get in a good squat or lunge. You know what I mean, to get through the knees. Really,
in what
All right.
situation are you gonna use that move? Are you gonna swing your nunchucks between your legs and hit somebody?
that's the thing
It's
about
the
Chuck. Bro.
That's
And
it's
Grim, tell him, Grim, this is
it's the
something that Grim
aerodynamics of the swing. It causes much force from the
so
from all that.
yeah. Rima learned at my house one night, and my brother and I, he used to call us the Twin Dragons, and
Uh,
so
Fuck,
him,
you guys are the twin dragons.
him
bro, they're
and
born on the same day, a year apart.
yeah, but
Oh fuck.
you you and Brandon did some of the flashier stuff, remember? And I was always against it because I liked Bruce's stuff because everything that was logical to use, okay? Because why use shit that you can't use? You know, flashiness. I get it could probably increase speed, but it's not sensible in a fight, right? If you're going for your life, you're just trying to defend yourself.
Exactly. It's nonsensical in a real life situation, like Relate was alluding to a minute ago. But
Hey, bro, there might be somebody you just hit with him that fell down behind. You thought he was knocked out. Now he's crawling up behind you, about to uppercut you in your junk, and you just whoom, swing it right forward to
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and crack him.
yeah. That's
Hey,
a
it could
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
there's the
It could
scene.
happen.
Or hey, or if someone's trying to attack you right there, kick you, you throw the nunchucks down there between the legs. You block the fucking kick. That's
Nice,
it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it could backfire though, because if you get the nunchuck in the wrong position and that kick just raises the nunchuck up,
Oh,
hits you
hell
right in.
yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah. That is a good point. I might have to put that in a funny
that
bit or something.
might just be adding a little bit of extra momentum as it's kicking it. Because if you get the timing wrong, bro, and it goes right before the kick, oh, you're in trouble. There's risks to those chucks, man.
Sounds terrible. And I did have a couple of them situations at one point, man. Yeah.
That's why
When
you
I,
start
when I
with the
first learned
padded
how
ones.
to do it. What's
You gotta
up?
use padded ones until you get good.
He
I
had
I
bruised kidney learning the night he learned.
I did, huh? I was fucked up. I had bruises on both sides, both elbows, knocked myself in the dome. So relate. I'll tell you off air what actually happened that night and why I learned. But anyway, I digress. To get back to the show here, I was wondering, you had named a bunch of the group members of the circle and people that worked out of the lab, but you were also about to say a few other names that had only come through for like a song or two, maybe made an appearance. Do you remember any of those people that came through that you want to give a shout out real quick?
Yeah, I mean, like there was always people that came through that we liked. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Tanks the Gangster was one of the homies from the north side. Uh, you
I
know,
used to know some
even though
in high school.
even though we had our beef over, baby mama drama, Smooth used to come around.
Yep.
Uh, we had shit, bro. Like there were some of the young dudes that used to hang out with G and them, Moni. I can't even remember their names, bro. It's they would probably be all sad if I couldn't remember their names to them and shit. But
To be fair, there was a lot of people, bro, and there was a lot of our friends, a lot of our close ones, but there's so much to go around. We've been involved in this music for so long that that list is kind of endless anyway. But I do remember like Rebel was a part of Dog City for a minute, and he was somebody that I looked up to also. So I felt pretty honored to make some music with him for a little bit. And Doja, when he was doing his little sessions and he was recording people, I had the privilege of meeting a few heads there too, that were pretty good, pretty talented people too. So the lab was cracking, bro. The lab was a time frame in our lives, all of us, I think that was pretty awesome, that we all look back fondly on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was one of those times where we were really productive in the studio. Like
Absolutely.
like there was music coming out. It seemed like every other day, and having that much talent, because those were a bunch of talented people all together from Denver. You know what I mean? In a place where I wasn't real real excited about the music. I was excited about what we had.
Yeah.
So it was kind of dope, man. And I look back at those times. There's a lot of stories we can't tell about the shit, but there's a
Why?
lot of great memories,
Why
huh?
can't we?
Oh,
Why
man,
can't we?
people are people are in different positions in their life now. They don't want certain things brought up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying any of us here, but other people that I may or may not have had relations with. You know, there was a lot of music that was made, and a lot of love that was made, and a lot of fun that was had.
Yes, sir.
What?
That was a good time for all of us, and it also opened a lot of doors. And as you both kind of alluded to earlier about how we all kind of had opportunities to kind of get into things like podcasting before its time. This is also around the time of working with like marijuanaradio.com and doing those can of weed
Oh yeah.
and all of
Oh,
that
I
kind.
forgot. I forgot about those shows you guys used to throw. Those were
Yeah,
cool
bro.
too. On
And we
So
had
Halloween.
we
yeah, I
we had
wanted
our
to ask
own
you about that.
broadcast shit when we were doing marijuana radio. That's where we started first doing the circle radio. We were
Yeah,
doing that with Paul's fucking audience, and he had a big audience at the time. I was just giving him some props online the other day because I got it. Sometimes I just get reminiscent, and I'm like, man, I have to give credit to the people that helped me get to the place where I am. Because without them, I wouldn't be who I am. Without the help that people are giving me, whether it's pushing me in the right direction or actually giving me a platform to do some shit. Paul, he is a fan of the Blood and Ones crew. You know what I mean? Like he always loved our music and loved what we stood for. Just keeping it real with everybody, right? Like it wasn't like we were any kind of gimmick. It was just we're gonna go and be who we are, and
yeah,
smoke weed with you and fucking have a good time. And Paul was all about that shit. So we started doing circle radio over there. He invited us to do that. That was our first taste in broadcasting, right? Like we just had to get on the mics and just learn how to go from rappers to personalities, which
yeah.
I
No
think was a decent transition. It wasn't too bad.
I remember it being like very cool and interesting, and I wanted to go and see. And I remember you guys even had some shows where you had people call in, and you had invited me to call in a couple times. And I remember kicking myself in the ass a couple times specifically because you had reached out to me, and I wasn't in a place where I was able to do it. But I could have made it happen if I absolutely wanted to, and I've always regretted not doing that. So now that we have the opportunity to do this, it feels almost like a full circle kind of thing, and I get to still do it with you. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it's all this shit that we all fucking wanted to do. We just kind of were doing it at different times.
Yeah,
Instead of doing it all cohesively together at one time a long time ago, then we would have been pioneers in this fucking shit right now. But no,
I,
we have lives, we have kids, we have families, and shit changes, and it is what it is, man. I don't regret any minute of it, and I don't regret any of the steps that I've taken, but
yeah.
definitely got more to give.
And you had also just kind of also alluded to just a sense of gratitude, and I wanted to appreciate you for that and for this thing that I have noticed you do a few times on Facebook, a few posts that you've just shouted different people out that have helped you along your journey. I'm also doing this other show with Grim here where we're talking about our spiritual journeys, and I think I heard something or I read something about you giving it up to somebody, and involving your faith in the message as well. And I've also seen that come across in some of your music and some of your lifestyle choices and just conversation that I've had with you over the past couple of years. It seems like your faith and your resurgence in your spirituality has been taking precedence in a lot of your life recently. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have some sort of relationship with God, and no matter how you think about it, because there's so many different ways: religion, spirituality. When it comes to religion, there's so many different types of congregations that you could be a part of. When it comes down to it, it's really about your relationship with God and how you communicate with Him and how you feel. Like there's many times growing up having nothing where it's like, is there really a God? Feeling sorry for yourself and shit. And you got to kind of overcome that, realize that there is a creator to all of this. There is the Most High, and to be able to give praise to Him, I don't think is a big deal. Like sometimes it would be my pride wouldn't want to let me say, praise to Jesus or Yeshua, however you want to hear it. It was like the pride is gonna make people think that I'm a holy roller or something. You ain't have to be like a perfect person to have a relationship with God, in my opinion. You could still be yourself. Like it's kind of crazy, man. I'm not gonna say where I'm recording, but I got an opportunity to record these most recent songs that I did in a church studio with a great engineer.
Okay.
It's I started music in a church a long time ago. Basically, when Roman's dad, he was a pastor. Like I said,
Yeah.
we would go like clean up the church or whatever when they weren't there, and they had a PA system and a cassette recorder. So we would go up there. I would get on the keyboard, a little Casio keyboard that had a little drum beat that would repeat, and I would start playing music to it, and we would rap on the microphones. And that was our actual first ever recordings that we did as far as Blunted Ones crew is considered. And we were up there just making music, bro, like being fools and cussing and clowning around. And all these years later, the songs that I did, half of them are positive, half of them are like me just being artistically a fool and shit. It was recorded in a church studio. Like, so God's given me an opportunity. He's blessed me with an opportunity to have that platform and that resource to record my
I love
music. I mean,
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, bro. I think it definitely does come across too in this new music that you sent me. I was one of the lucky ones. I don't know how many people were able to, but I was one of the lucky ones that you were able to share some of your new stuff with before dropping some of it. And I gotta tell you, bro, like I've been a fan for a long time anyway. So I've been waiting for something from you. I've told you for at least a decade or so when, I need some relate something. You know what I mean? I need to hear something. And we've had this conversation. So when you finally hit me with some shit, bro, I had to like sit back. I had to fucking sit with it for a minute, bro. And that's the best fucking shit to me, bro. When I can't just like immediately dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? When I have
yeah,
to fucking sit with it and just let it fucking soak through because of how much substance it had in it. Because that's what's been lacking in music, if you ask me, especially hip hop, is the substance. I don't feel nothing. Nobody's saying anything. It's all bullshit. There's nothing. Thank you for the thumbs up, Doge. So it all fucking it doesn't work for anybody else. It only works for this motherfucker. And then Skins has fireworks. It pisses me off.
Oh,
See,
what the fuck?
what the fuck is up on that?
none of that shit works for me. None of it. Anyway, it definitely comes across, man. So it's badass, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um, you want
my
to you
music
want
is
to
dope,
talk
bro.
about you want to
I,
talk about how.
oh no, but
Go ahead.
I feel like that's like a main thing that music is really lacking these days. Like, is the positive messages behind it, and like to influence people to like I've been through the shit. I can make it out. I've been through like I've been posting all kinds of shit I'm into right now. And it's like if I can do it, you can do it. And like speaking of the God, on this new album, I have a song, "I'll Shine," which is like a dedication to like about how you have to go through you go through life with with God, and it's a breeze, or it could be hell. I've been on I've been on both sides. You know what I mean? So that's tight. I'll definitely check out your new music. But
I'll send you some shit.
I always been a fan too, man. Because, but like I said, you know, I always respected the talent and shit. I learned a lot from you too about how to recording vocals. I remember when I bought the equipment too. Another funny story. I didn't even know how to put it was like mono and stereo when you record the mic and you put it on there. You taught me that. You're like, hey, bro, there's this way. And I was like, oh, that's tight. We could hear ourselves now.
Yeah, if you ain't got your settings right, bro, then you're gonna be.
Yeah, because I had all the equipment and I said, well, how do I hook it up now? And then, you know, I learned that shit from you.
No, you know, I did one thing, and maybe Remo could vouch for this too. Like all the people that I was kind of mentoring or bringing up and just kind of helping along the way. One thing that I hardly ever did was give compliments, and there was a reason for that because I feel like a compliment could gas somebody up, and it could make them feel like they're already where they need to be instead of in a place where they feel like they need to progress to do more to make a bigger impression, right? Like so kind of psychologically I always refrain from saying like, yo, that's dope, this is super dope, and like really kind of like being a fan of it. And I appreciate you guys, you know, being a fan of my shit. I've always been a fan of everybody who I've worked with, you guys included, right? But I never really expressed that because I felt like one of the leaders who has to show these guys to push them to do more. And
Yeah.
so kind of that psychological part. And probably a
We,
lot of people, if people listen to this, they'll understand, you know what I mean? Like this one really never did like say that shit's super dope. I'm like, yeah, that's all right, you know what I mean? And
hey,
even my homie Reeve, yeah, go ahead.
we understand, Sensei.
I was gonna say that fucking shit. Oh, I got a love-hate relationship with that whole fucking thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Because it did exactly what you said. It had me strive to be better. It still does. I still get that reaction from you every now and then, you know. So to have this psychological, like you said, ability to just kind of test me and push me, you know, a little bit further. I appreciate that. It is always kind of made me get more artistic and more creative on the next one. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. And the compliments that I did get, I was always very grateful for because I knew that they were sincere because of the whole way you did things. You know, I think that was part of the charm of being one of your mentees. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, it's that mentality. You gotta break them down to build them up. Then you build them up and
Speaking,
compliment them and then break them down again.
That's what, dude. That's what I'm doing right now. Fuck, I'm breaking my shit apart, rebuilding a motherfucking master drunken Doja level now.
Good, man. That's
I
what
fucking
we all want to see progress, bro. That's it.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
yeah,
yeah. I think there's a major talented circle, and I think why we didn't blow up in the past is because this shit was just too deadly for the world. Fuck, all
Yeah,
of
they
us
did.
were. Yeah, there's too much. You know, it's like
We might have been fools with the money too. We might have fucking been real fools with that shit.
exactly. I was a real fool with money.
Uh,
Yeah.
Grim, Grim, were you
speaking,
trying to say something right there, Grim?
yeah. Speaking of compliments, I think that's a dope light you got relating predictive programming. The circles, the
Yeah,
circle behind you, the circle behind you relate with your subwoofer.
Yeah, there it is. We're coming up on an hour and 15 right here, fellas, and I feel like I've been kind of hogging some of this whole interview with Relate here. So Graham, is there anything that you wanted to ask or had anything that you wanted to add to the whole thing here?
I don't know. You mentioned something earlier that it's funny because I want to give a shout out to it to the Vicious Interviews. Episode 2
Appreciate.
just dropped with myself and Remo.
Thank you everybody that tuned in.
He's talking about you were talking about that everyone finds their spirituality in their own way, right? And you don't have to be a perfect person to have a relationship with God. And it's funny because I kind of said something very similar last night.
Yeah, you did. It did kind of mirror some of that. Exactly.
You just
And
gotta be a good person, you know what I mean? Like be positive and show the world love. I mean, it's as simple as love thy neighbor, right? As
yep,
long as you're not hating on the next person next to you, you're gonna be all right. You know, like we all get that human tendency of wanting to hate on shit, and I get that a lot, bro. Like you'll see me on a Facebook post, I'll just wake up hating on Sexy Red or something. Like, what the hell is she doing running hip hop right now? But
Yeah.
it's just that kind of human tendency that it's a little bit. Let me be honest, it's a little bit of envy too, right? Thinking
yeah.
like I got a lot of talent, and this chick don't got, in my opinion, but not in millions of other people's opinion, don't have a lot of talent. So, but I guess I'm a bad judge of that because she's out here killing it. I don't know, bro.
Well, with love comes understanding, and I think that's the part that we all struggle with the most, and I think that that's the part that we all need the most practice with, and I think that that's the part that is going to be the most significant in our other show that we're doing, and that's the most significant part of all of our journeys. I think as a people is the understanding, you know, being able to be live a harmonious life with each other. You know what I mean? Because when it's all said and done, if we were to have some kind of like technology like crashes and all this other kind of shit, we would have to lean on each other in a way that we're kind of not exactly ready for right now. And I think that we need to be better to each other, and we need to treat each other with more love and respect and have some of that understanding. So I'm hopeful that us as men in our own lives and the people that we touch, we can kind of spread that message as well as we can in our own ways and try and help open that door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Let's just
we
say
should host some boxing matches then.
I'm with it.
I'm just joking. I'm just
I'm with it. Championship from
go
downtown
out with
Denver,
love
bro.
and respect to punching your boys. Right?
Don't-
I had to throw a little bit of comedy in there.
we got video montages of those are training. Like we're ready, bro. We got a whole team set up, ready to go.
What's up?
I thought
Hey,
that you guys
Rocky.
were gonna do like some backyard wrestling or something at some point.
No, not backyard.
Me and Remo.
Joey T. You're
no,
you're
we
you're
we
a
got
Primo
the
guy also, right? You remember Primos?
My cousin's a wrestler in that now, bud.
In Primos?
Yeah, his name is Roland Doobie.
I know that. I've seen that dude. That's
Yeah,
tight, bro. I like it. That's your cousin, huh?
Yeah, remember Bud? What was it, Bud Doobie?
Bud Doobie.
I was supposed to be
Rest
his
in peace,
manager.
Bud
Rest in
Doobie,
peace.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Bud Doobie. I was very close to that dude for a very short period of time, right at the end of his life. I was actually supposed to be his manager. And I took it took it really hard when we lost that dude. I even included him in one of our songs that you produced the beat for, Lost Angels. So
Was was that another Skrilla Connect? He started doing T-shirts for them, and just everybody got linked with them, or what?
well they used to come to
Or was it the opposite way?
they used to come to the TA because they would go and eat at that truck stop diner over there. You know, there was a buffet back in the day, so all the wrestlers would go there after they would train because their butcher shop was right around the corner there,
Yeah,
and that's where they would do all their training and stuff. So I remember having conversations with them when I was working there still with Skrilla and shit, and that was before the whole thing. But yeah, Skrilla kind of opened that door too. Skrilla opened a lot of doors, a lot of connections.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That the T-shirt business, bro, is like kind of that's hand in hand with hip hop. Like you think about all of the people who've made music. One of the next things that they ended up doing was making T-shirts.
Well, bro, see, like, for anybody that may have listened to, again, the shout out to the Vicious interviews, my interview with Keisha, we talked about the elements of hip hop. And I've always felt like there's this unspoken fifth element to hip hop. And I think it's the gear, bro. I think it's
Yeah,
always been the gear. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, definitely, you got
yeah.
a certain style, like especially back in the day, hip hop had like a certain look to it for sure.
Still does. I mean, it goes through its changes, just like any kind of fashion and
Oh,
stuff like that.
I was gonna say hip hop versus rap, I guess you could say, because some of these rappers, man, that style does not look hip hop.
Well, it's so strange anymore. Like, not even just with rappers, but like with athletes. Like, you see these dudes coming into their games and they're wearing some of the funkiest fucking shit you ever seen in your life. And it's like, what the fuck?
If I say something about that, you know what they're gonna tell me? You don't know nothing about fashion. You don't know fashion. I guess I don't, and I don't want to at this point
Right?
because that's
Right?
Right?
That's what
not
I'm
what I
saying.
like.
I'm cool with that. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll
stick
wear
with
me a nice printed, a
this week.
Yeah.
graphic T-shirt. I'm good.
And
Right.
speaking of sports, before we wrap it up with you, I gotta get your take on some of this shit, bro, because I know you're a big sports guy. Also, first of all, I'm not the hockey dude, but I know you're a big hockey dude. So tell me, what's up with the Avs nowadays? Are you big
Well,
time? You know, are you what's up? Tell me what's up.
well, obviously, you know that they just lost in the second round of the NHL
It,
playoffs.
it's like the same story with the Nuggets, right? The same whole.
It was disappointing, but you know we got there. There's a lot of other teams that didn't get to that point, so
And they have
you
been
can't
getting
really.
there, right? They got a good team. They've had like a cool little dynasty for the last few years, right?
Yeah, they got a good team, and they'll be all right. It's just going to take a little bit of time for them to figure out their way. I think it's goaltending is an issue for us,
Uh-huh.
so we could get we got a goalie who the team counts on. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's the guy that could get us to a championship level. So I don't know. They're a great team. They're going to be in competition for the cup again next year, but
Yeah.
they missed a window this year, just like the Nuggets missed a big window.
Yeah. And that's what I hear too. One of the other podcasts I listened to, they were talking about the Avs and they were saying about how this whole goalie situation, it seemed like they found their goalie right at the end kind of situation where, it was kind of like almost too late, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. And as far as the Nuggets, were you watching all the games? Like were you as pissed off and fucking heartbroken as the rest of us were?
I mean, I didn't get like too sad about it. You know what I mean? Like what I really got sad about is that I couldn't make some t-shirts and sell them. So
I saw you making designs. Tell me something real quick. Does it is it just me? Or why the fuck does it seem like whether it's the Broncos, the Rockies, the fucking Nuggets, it doesn't matter who or what. It seems to be that all of the fucking um losses that we do, or all of the like worst ever losses of all time or whatever the fuck always happens to us on our home turf. You notice that shit?
Or at
Like the
the end.
worst comeback of all time or whatever kind of shit, bro. Like it's terrible. It always happens to us.
yeah, but we can't feel too sorry, man. We have a lot of championships in this city.
Well, good way
Like
to turn it around. I appreciate the positivity. Thank you, because I'm pissed about the whole fucking thing. So thank
the
you for
negative,
trying to.
yeah, the negative could easily outweigh the positive. You know what I mean? And it's easy to look at that shit, but we have championships, bro. Like NHL 2 years ago, NBA
Yep,
last year.
yep,
Broncos, we don't even need to talk about those fools for a little bit, but we still have a championship a lot closer than a lot of the other teams, man. So
yep. And we're hopeful. We'll see what
we're
happens.
spoiled. We're fucking spoiled in Denver.
Well, my
Hell
brother, I
yeah.
appreciate the fuck out of you coming on the show. You guys ain't got any last questions for Relay before we let him go?
Hey, any future music projects? Hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna go record a music video in a massage parlor over here.
fuck yeah! I always wanted to do that. I have a badass beat. It's on it. It's called My First Tour, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be about the massage parlor experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fun days, huh?
yeah, it's gonna be an awesome song.
I want to
You,
hear the song, bro. I'm interested.
hey, do you used to making beats?
Once in a while I'll make some beats, but I got Mathematico in Colombia, bro. Like that dude is beast, bro. There's no reason I ever should be on one of my beats unless I make part of it and he makes part of it. I like doing that, but like the song Diamonds in a Mink, I made like the main loop, and then he added all the drums and bass and did his thing to it. He just
Love it.
switched and made it dope.
Love
Hey,
that shit.
um, that's how I feel. I've gotten lazy. I fuck with the Amino Domini, and I probably have like 3,000 of his beats and shit. So I'm like, I have a fuckload. So why I don't need to waste my time making them.
Yeah, when you find somebody that can inspire you with their music, sometimes it's easier just to be the artist. Like I'll make beats for like if somebody asks me to make a beat and I can feel it, maybe I'll do it. But sometimes I'll get on there and it's not like before, like how I used to be able to sit there and make a beat just quickly. Like now
Yeah.
it'll take me a long time to do it because I'm trying to be more of a perfectionist with all the sounds, tweaking every little thing, and then it gets to be a big process. And then I'm like, let me smoke some weed and play a video game for a while or something. Then it
Oh,
gets back. But
I was gonna ask you that too. You still gaming and shit?
yeah, bro. But I play a lot of NHL online with a bunch of Canadian dudes and shit. Like, it's
Hell
fun
yeah.
though. Well, like, not, I don't want to sound like a nerd, bro, but I'm like one of the top defensemen in the game. Like online with all the players that play on there and shit. I think I'm 12th overall defenseman and like
Damn.
fourth in hitting per game. So I
Hell yeah, that's tight.
yeah, you know what I mean. It's fun.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, hey, speaking of the nerd shit, I always crack up because like in school, and fools on the computer and shit, I'm like, man, look at these fucking nerds and blah blah blah. And then fast forward to me down the road, what the fuck? I'm always in my computer editing or the phone, fucking nerd myself.
Yeah. So I turned into a big time nerd, but nerds concentrate a little bit more than fools that are always on the run. So I don't mind being at the house.
Right.
Like
That's what
that. White words.
that's what I'm saying. I homebody myself too, man. For
We got all our tools. We got children. We got all this. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
yeah, being at home is a lot
That's-
better and safer place than just being fools, man. Even when it
Hey,
comes to being safe with your money.
hey,
Yeah.
and then it's dope too to like be in your own creativity like zone area, your your spot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I just feel like that's when I could create the best.
that's
Yep.
when if I could wake up in the morning with my voice is all deep and then I could go and record a track. That's when that shit comes out smooth, bro. Sometimes you can't get studio time till it's like 4:30 at night, and you got to take a nap at 2:30 to wake up with that voice. Like, what are you talking about?
Uh,
Well, my brother, I want to thank you. We're coming up on our time here, and I just want to tell you thank you so much for allowing us to get this interview with you, man. Thank you for being on the show. It's been a pleasure for me, and I hope to have you back again. Maybe we could have
yeah,
another visit from you, and we could chop it
this
up some more. Because I think
Yeah.
we could do another 3 episodes right now. To be honest with you.
Well, next time
Eve.
we don't even have to do interview style. I'll just come on and shoot the breeze with the boys, and we'll make it entertaining for the
Hey,
world.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could have
Absolutely.
them. We could have them review the movies, with us
Yeah.
and stuff.
All that shit. Yeah, you could definitely come and be a guest on any of our stuff. So thank you again, my
You
brother, for
you'll
coming
be
out. And
a
I appreciate
Boys,
you.
I appreciate you guys.
you'll
No
be
doubt.
a repeated offender.
Yeah, that, that's what. No,
Yeah.
don't put that online with some kind of clickbait. Be like, repeat offender. This month, I'm out, boys.
All right.
All right.
Everybody,
Later.
everybody go check out Relate. Check him out on Spotify. He does have some stuff out right now. Check him out on YouTube. Thank him so much for staying with us for as long as he did. Gave us some good time. Y'all got an episode coming out this week of what's that called?
Uh,
TBD.
uh,
TBD. Well, maybe be on the lookout, maybe not. I don't know. But definitely check out the interview
yep.
I did with Grim. It's part one. We're gonna have part two next week. But part one is amazing. Go and check it out. Thank you, Grim, for giving me that, by the way. I
Yep.
love you guys. This has been episode 13 of the Dro Bro Show. And my brothers, we out.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Thank you, everybody, for peeping out the Dro Bro Show. Please don't forget to follow on all socials for all three of us and subscribe.